welcome back.
Yeah, going to college, going to school is definitely expensive. On average, you'll probably be spending, about $50,000 from, first year to graduating. If you are going to, graduate school, you could be spending more than that. But a lot of people are able to go to, school without, being in debt or spending money. They're able to get, to get funding. There are people that, there are ways you can get funded for this, going to school. And let me ask Yemi how, some of the ways he knows how, people can, fund college. You know,
That's a
what
great
do you think?
question. Yeah, that's a great question. And depending on your status in America, one way for you to fund college is to pay for it yourself. Depending on your visa, if you're coming in as an international student, you're gonna be paying a lot of money. You better be coming with a boatload of money. So coming from outside of the country as an international student, you need to have a boatload of money. Well, if you're not an international student, if you're a legal immigrant, there are opportunities out there for you, and you can actually get a financial aid by going to fafsa.ed.gov. This is a website that you can put in your application, and then they'll let you know if you qualify and how much you qualify for in financial aid. Well, when you put in your FAFSA application, that will help you know how much you're going to qualify for when talking about subsidized or unsubsidized loan. And that's another thing entirely, right? Because if you have an unsubsidized loan, you're going to pay more in interest. If you have a subsidized loan, the government is subsidizing the loan for you, basically. So you're going to pay less in interest. Another way of paying for college is to do your research on scholarships. There are a lot of scholarship opportunities out there by employers, by different communities, even if it's $1,000 per semester, depending on the college you're going to. You can speak to your counselor and they can help you and, direct you to the website. You can apply for some scholarships.
Yes, thank you for addressing that. I think you nailed it. When it comes to paying for college, the primary way of paying for college is actually by loan. Because getting a FAFSA, government giving you money to go to school is a function of how much you are making. If you're making too much, you're not going to qualify. They will just straight up give you loan. That's what you can get. And regardless if you are getting a loan or if you are getting financial aid, you still need to fight for FAFSA because everything begins from there. Even if you want to look at scholarship, is a requirement. You have to fight for FAFSA. You have to apply for FAFSA. And those are the ways you can, pay for college. Another way you can pay for college is through your employer, student tuition reimbursement. A lot of companies, they have this program. You can tap into it. You can use it to pay for your college. They'll pay for it. And there's another means, to pay for college too, which, depending on your status, if you are legal or illegal, so you could actually join the military and you can pay for college, with a GI Bill. That's a whole lot of conversation that we could have on that subject. You can pay for college with your GIB bill and the military will pay for you, for the college, regardless of what branch. And then the good thing about that military is that you can be taking classes and some of your training you have in the military, you can actually have those classes taken off for you. So it reduces it. But if you really want to go to college and you don't want to spend too much money, I would highly recommend that you start from the community college because it's probably the most cheapest option. You do 2 years there, you transfer to 4 year college, and then do another 2 years. That way you can cut down, the cost of, college.
Yeah, that's very, very, very good. Appreciate you bringing that up. The 2-year college, the community college, is a good option, especially for people that do not have a lot of money to spend, and for a lot of people that do not want to take too much loan, which will equals to a lot of debt after graduation. Yeah, community college is a great place to start. And another thing that I also want us to talk about is, now you have the money to go to college. I think it's important to choose the right major. It is important to choose the right major. Elvis, what do you think it's important when choosing majors?
When you are choosing, it can be overwhelming, okay? It can be very confusing, especially, we being used to the way we used to choose major back home, everybody is telling you that you must study medicine. Do you really have the brain for medicine? That is another question. So in America, it's a different ballgame in that choosing the major, you really have to consider return on investment, how soon you can get a job, how much do you like this course. Though with us, it's not really how we like it. Our focus is usually return on investment, how much we can potentially make. So all these things you need to consider. You need to consider the ease of getting a job, how well you are really passionate about this major. Because if you like this major, you are more than likely to do well. Um, uh, yeah, those are the two major things I would consider. In fact, that I actually consider going into my major. Do not follow the crowd. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you ask a lot of questions. Book a lot of counseling session with your advisor. Make sure you ask around and make sure you ask other people too. Because a lot of times you'll be asking these advisors, they will not be giving you the right advice because America is capitalism. They just want your money. They just want to walk you through that door and keep taking down your money. So make sure you ask a lot of questions. You look for somebody that is already in the school and then just ask them, tell them what your plans, what you tend to do. Make sure that you ask a lot of questions and then ask people how they did it. Because whatever you want to do here, I promise you, there are a lot of people that have done whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. We live in a capitalist society. So the college, the folks over there, they want your money and you want their degree. So you're helping each other out. So as much money they can get from you, they will get. They will make you take extra classes, even if you don't need them. So it's really important that you're communicating with your advisor when the time is right for you to choose a major. Another thing I do want to talk about is choosing a major can be very intimidating. There's a lot of options out there. You want to do something easy? I'll tell you, if it's easy, don't do it. If it's easy, if the major is easy, don't do it. I'll prefer you do something in STEM. And STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. Without science, it's hard. Technology is hard. Engineering is hard. Math is hard. So any major in this field will definitely get you something decent. You'll be able to make a decent salary after graduation. And that way you have a good return on your investment. But if you're going to do business and your father or your mother do not have a business you can run, you need to reconsider. If you're going to go in politics, you need to rethink, especially if you don't have anything to fall back on. Your parents are not wealthy. You need to have a rethink. And if you're going to do psychology, I think psychology is decent as long as you pursue a higher degree. Maybe you want to end up being a therapist or being a counselor. Those are good degrees to have. But if you're going to do any non-science or non-STEM related degree, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. These days, AI is here. AI is going to be doing a lot of other things that are being done by people. So it is important that you make a smart choice when you're choosing a major. Be lazy. Don't just get the degree for the degree's sake. Don't just get the paper for the paper's sake. You want to make sure that the 4 years or 2 years you're going to spend in college is worthwhile. You want to make sure you're learning something that can actually transfer into money for you after graduation. So stability is important. Return on investment is important, and make sure you're not doing any easy major. Don't do anything easy. Try to go for harder courses like engineering, like anything in the STEM field, basically, will set you up after graduation. Which takes me to another point. If you don't have anything to add on that, I want us to talk about maintaining good grades while in college.
Yeah. Let me speak to that. Speak to what you just finished talking about. Yeah. Today AI is everywhere, automation is everywhere, but the foundation for the AI and the automation is STEM actually. Is mathematics, engineering. Those are the foundations, for the AI. So, like he said, he's right. So, if you want to choose a major, make sure you are choosing something that you know can, you know, probably in the next another 10, 20 years cannot be replaced by AI. Uh, think in that direction because whatever you are thinking to study, now let's say you want to be a business analyst, AI will do analysis more than you will ever do. You want to be a data scientist, AI will do that more than you will ever do. So choosing the right major and then going for those things that are really, really hard, that will almost be impossible for AI to replace is a good thing to do. Maintaining good grade, it can be very overwhelming, especially in your first, second semester. Before you know it, you can be out of school, you'll be dropped out. Maintaining good grade is actually schooling here is a lot different from, at least from my experience in Nigeria, it's a lot different, It's not like it's harder, but it can be tricky. The Nigerian system is a lot harder. You go to class from first day of the class, in Nigeria to almost 2 weeks to the exam. That's when you start studying for the exam. And in fact, this is not shade. I'm not throwing shade to Nigerian school system, but it's very easy for you to see somebody graduating in Nigeria and they don't have any skill at all. They probably maybe study statistics and they don't have any skill. They can't even, they don't even know how to use Excel, and it's really disturbing. So that is the difference between here and Nigeria. As you are learning, you are learning those skills and you are putting them into use. Maintaining good grade actually entails studying. You need to stay on top of it. At least, according to, if anytime you go see advisors, they will tell you that if you are taking this X amount of classes or credit, you have to, put aside this X amount of time to study for those classes. Let's say you have this thing, unit class, you need to be dedicating at least 10 hours to that class in a week, maybe more, So if you are taking like 12, unit credit, so multiply that 10 by that, or multiply 10 by 4, that's the amount of time you will need for that. So for you to be successful and for you to maintain your grade is keeping up with the assignment, keeping up with the quiz. If you are taking online class, make sure you're keeping up with the discussion board. Make sure you are just studying generally. Studying is actually a lot of fun, easier here compared to Nigeria. But for you to maintain your grade and stay in school and remain in school, you really have to study to maintain.
Definitely, yeah. You can't say that enough. Study, 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 study. Especially if you have scholarships. You're given a target to hit. If you have a scholarship, so some of the, folks giving you scholarships will want you to maintain a GPA of 3.0. Believe it or not, it's hard keeping your GPA that high, especially if you have other things you're taking care of outside of school, especially if you have a family to take care of. You want to work, you want to take care of your family, you also want to go to school, and not just go for going sake, but you want to make sure that you're learning and you're not getting bad grades as well. when I was in school, which is, believe it or not, it's been, I'll say I'm approaching a decade since I've completed my bachelor's degree. So when I was in school, I had to take care of my family. I would go to school during the day. I would work at night. And then on the weekends, I'll try to do all of my assignments, all of my lab work and everything. And, I had friends in school that will help, pick up the slack. So it was very good. I try to make friends with people in my class. So we'll help each other out when it comes to, homework, quizzes, doing lab work. So yeah, it was an interesting time. It was very challenging. I can tell you, I try to catch up on all my homeworks on the weekend. I try to catch up on all of the sleeps that I need on the weekend. Yeah, to get a good grade, you need to study. You need to do your quizzes. You need to study and read and do everything you need to do. And if you're not comfortable with everything going on in the class, you need to schedule an appointment with your instructor. Go meet them at their office hours. They'll be glad to have you. They'll sit down with you, explain what you need to do to get a better grade. Believe it or not, they will allow you to retake tests if you have a good excuse or why you did bad on the test. A lot of these instructors will let you retake the test, which can, help improve your grade, especially if you're having a bad grade. So you can't say that study, 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 study. Reduce the number of hours you work and increase the number of hours you study. That's all I've got.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you go to school, a lot of times it's possible. In fact, there's a case in one state like that where a student graduated a high school. She was a valedictorian, but she can't leave. So the district, the parents, they're suing the school district. How did my daughter become a valedictorian and she can't leave? What
That's
happened?
funny.
So cases like that. So what I'm trying to say is, regardless of the location, Nigeria, here, Europe, anywhere, it's possible to go to school, graduate with good grade, and you still did not know what you did. You went to school for, and you still did not come out with any meaningful, skill. It's very, very possible. In fact, in my line of work, I have the opportunity to work with a lot of us, a lot of our people back a lot of them will say they have a PhD, they have masters, but I can tell you that, when they start talking and when it come to shove, yeah, you will just be wondering, is this really true, or they just trying to boost their ego, trying to, to make you feel that they are bigger than you. It's surprising. It doesn't just happen in Nigeria. It happens here too. It's possible you go to school, you graduate, in fact, sometimes you get good grade, probably due to the fact that you are getting help from somewhere, and you don't have a meaningful skill. That is, make sure that that is not how we end up. And then another thing that I can talk about is networking. While you're going to school, make sure you're networking. We can't say that enough. That is actually one of the things I have against online schooling. If you are doing traditional class, it's very, very easy for you to, to network. But with the online class, everybody is just doing their own thing. It becomes difficult for you to network. You know, network. No matter your major, tomorrow somebody in your class you may meet somebody in your class in a company, you go for an interview, you may meet some. So network.
Yeah, networking is very important. People in college, some of the people that were that we took, some classes together in college, we work for the same employer today. So yeah, we still reach out to each other once in a while and check on each other and see how everything is going. So that's how you build a long lasting relationship. So networking is very, very important. So which leads me to another topic, internship. In Nigeria, I believe they call it IT, industrial
IT Swiss.
training. Yes. Internship is very important. It opens you up to a lot of opportunities in the field that you're studying. It helps you decide what kind of jobs you want to do, you want to pursue right before graduation or even after graduation, or Internship will help you decide if you want to, change your major. Maybe you work in a company and you don't like what you are going to school for. Oh, really? Is this for me? Do I want to sit in front of a computer 10 hours a day, or do I want to be out in the field where the action is happening? So it's all up to you. My take on this is to get as much internship as you can. You can get this through networking. You can get this through your current employer. There's a lot of opportunities that can come from participating in internship, even if it's unpaid. Make sure you get it done. Make sure you participate. And I believe in some departments, you can actually claim the internship as one of your classes. Take the internship in lieu of taking another class in your department. So I'll say check in with your advisor and see how the internship will work.
Yeah, definitely internship is, throughout my school time, I think internship is something that I really missed out on. I pursued one, but I didn't get it. Maybe perhaps I didn't, you know, really grab, how important it is, it was to get an internship. In fact, internship opens you up to, to the company you probably want to work for. And there's a whole lot of things that can come out from it. You can, actually, when you graduate, you can put application to that company and they will easily recognize you. Sometimes they will retain you, give you a job even before you graduate. It's definitely something I would encourage somebody to do, but in my own case, it's something that I really, really missed out. Even if, though, as Nigerians, especially going to school as an adult, I don't really see a lot of people doing the internship because it will be in conflict with your job, especially if it is unpaid. Do you really want to work for somebody for 3 months without getting paid? You really want to come back from your work and then go to another work to work for free. So it boils down to that. But I really, really missed out on the internship. And today I'm beginning to see the importance of internship.
Yeah, let me give you a quick story. While I was in school, I believe when I was a sophomore or maybe a junior, yeah, I took an internship with my current employer, and it was during the summertime. And I did the internship, and they liked me. They say, "Hey, when you graduate, come back." And even before I graduated, I went back to them, and they took me back. And I was working part time until I graduated, and I'm still there. 11 years later, still at the same company. So internship is really good. Internship opened the door for me, and I'm glad I took it. I'm glad I did it. So encourage everyone out there, if you're planning on going to school, if you're in school already, make time for the internship. If you're going to take time off of work during summer, or if you're going to take time from going on vacation, try to do the internship, even if it's unpaid. And if you don't have anything to add, another thing that I do want us to talk about is to address the people that are going to say, hey, I don't think I'm ready to go back to school. I don't think I'm cut out to go back to school. I need something that can make me money right now. I want us to talk about going to trade school. What do you
Yes,
think
I
about
mean,
that?
there is alternative. In fact, if you trade school can actually be, for some people, trade school is probably what they need. It really has nothing to do with, well, a lot of people consider the cost of going to college and then they will zero their focus on trade school. But trade school has a unique distance that, oftentimes makes people to, to go to that direction. That is, so you get paid while you learn. Okay. Say you are going, going to trade school to become an electrician. You will be getting paid while you are learning. So you are doing classroom and you are doing on-the-job training. So it's essentially on-the-job training. You'll be getting paid and then you'll be learning. So it's a very good alternative. The places you can find a trade school will be like a community college, like in the case of Indiana, you can like a Lincoln College, Ivy Tech Community College. Yeah, they have trade school, and then they have a unions. I think IWB40 is electrical.
Yeah, for electricians.
It's for electricians. I think is they call them. They have a union. It's a union of electrical brothers or something like that, or along that line. So it's something you can look up. In fact, recently there is this people I saw that they were interviewing. Actually, one of the electrician, she says she makes about $120 an hour. I mean, I don't even know the kind of, major that you study in school that you'll be making $120 an hour unless you are a lawyer and a doctor. Otherwise, I don't even see anything that you make close to that. They get taken care of, they sponsor their retirement, they get everything. So it's something that you can definitely look into.
Yeah, trade school is important. If you don't want to go to that 4 year college, trade school is usually maybe within 2 years you graduate. You can be an apprentice before you become a journeyman. And a journeyman will usually get the top rate. And what courses or what profession can you study at a trade school? You can be a plumber. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in America,
Great,
you don't go to the toilet in the back of your house. Every house is legally required to have a bathroom, to have a restroom.
and the
So
new
yeah, new
constructions,
constructions, yeah, everything is required to have a working plumbing system. So plumbers can never go out of work because your toilet is going to be clogged. You're not going to be able to do it by yourself. You will call a plumber, and the plumber will charge you a lot of money. So if you don't want to go to college, learn plumbing. And with plumbing, you can start your own plumbing business. Maybe you work for a company for a few years to gain some experience, to gain some connections. And after that, you can, dive into your own land and start
you
your
can
own
become a
plumbing business.
subcontractor.
You can become a subcontractor. Yeah, that's good. Same as HVAC techs, heating, ventilation, air, and cooling. Yeah, HVAC in America during summer, you need AC. During winter or cold weather, you need heat. If any of those things go out, you're going to pay a lot of money to fix them. So HVAC techs, AI can't take their jobs. They're going to
Definitely.
go out there, they're going to do whatever they got to do to make money. Also, electricians, you need your house wired. You want it to be wired up to code. You don't just want to go get some materials at Home Depot or at Lowe's to, do something in your house. You want to make sure that it's up to code. Because if you do something in your house and it's not up to code, if something happens, if the house burns down, that's going to be a problem. The insurance might refuse to pay your claim, because your house is not up to code, and that's going to be a problem. So if they want to go to college, learn plumbing, be an electrician, go to HVAC school, learn how to work with your hand. And like my partner said, you can be a subcontractor, you can get your contractor license and start your own business, right? If you don't want to work for a company, you can
And there
start
are
your own.
a lot of things you can do with the trade school. A lot of major, you can do medicine, especially with our state. Our state is just developing every day. There is always new buildings starting every day, so it means that you will never be out of job. So in fact, I will almost agree that some of us are even regretting why we did not, take that out. You know, by the time you finish, there is no student loan. You earn while you learn, and then the exposure, and then immediately after graduation, you get a bump in your rate, and they pay you per diem. And some of these people, a lot of times, they have opportunity to travel abroad if there is, any natural disaster to help out, especially if you're a lineman and if you're an electrician. They oftentimes they travel to help, restore electricity. So it's definitely it's something that you can look into and is alternative to a 4 year college, and they pay about the same, and if not, sometimes they even pay more.
Yeah. Yeah. And if a company has to downsize, they will prefer to downsize someone in the office than someone actually out there on the floor or on the streets
Making
fixing
the money.
things, making them money. So and the job is secured. If you get a union job, you rarely get fired unless you do something horrible. So your job is secured, pay secured, health benefit is secured, retirement is secure. That's definitely another option compared to going to a 4 year college.
Yeah, and then it's just I think if some of us had had the mentorship or, people, that advised us, I strongly believe that some of us would have gone down.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. Definitely agree with you. All right. This brings us to the end of another episode. I want to encourage you to help us get to the 1,000 likes, 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 shares, comments. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you think about this content specifically. And I know in the coming days, we're going to be posting content on businesses you can do to make money. If you don't want to go to school, if you don't want to, go to trade school, we'll be putting some information out there. So help us share, help us subscribe, help us get to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. And thank you for watching.
Okay.